Hi all, welcome back. In this video we will see what are the life cycle hooks that are present in Cypress test execution, how those life cycle methods will help us to reduce less number of code, and how we can reuse the code in each spec file. Okay, so if you see, there are four lifecycle hooks present in a Cypress test execution. The first one is before, and the second one is before each, and third one is after each, and then fourth one is after. So the before lifecycle hooks will be executed one time for each spec file, and before each lifecycle hook will be executed before every test, and after each will be executed after each test, and then after will be executed only once for a spec file. Okay, so there are four, and all these four we'll see in action now. So let's go to our browser, our Visual Studio Code, and for that let's create another spec file. I will call as lifecycle hooks.cy.js. okay, and then need to write a describe. So Cypress lifecycle hooks. Okay, and then write arrow function, and then we need to see these lifecycle hooks here. So the first one is before, and then before each, and after each, and the fourth one is after. Okay, so for before, as I mentioned, before will be executed only one time for spec file. Okay, so the syntax for before will be before, and then we need to pass a arrow function here. So in this I'm going to use a cy.log, which will be logged in the Cypress test runner. So before will be executed only once, so this life cycle hook will be executed once before once. Okay, and then the second one is before each. Okay, so before each also takes a function. Here also I am writing cy.log. This life cycle hook will be executed before each test case. Okay, and then after each, so it is also same, and I'm going to copy paste it. This life cycle hook will be executed after each test, and then for the fourth one, after. So I'm again copy pasting. This life cycle will be executed once at the end. Okay, so to prove this, I'm going to create some more couple of test cases here. So let's write a couple of tests. Test case 1. What I am going to do is cy.visit and from the previous spec file I'm going to copy the login path. So basically let's copy the entire one. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm visiting the web page, and then I'm getting a username input field, and then adding typing admin at the and next to I'm getting a password field, and I am typing the password, and I am submitting the form here. Okay, see here I am entering only the URL here, the base URL I have configured it in cypress.config.js file. Okay, so let me write one more test case, and then I'm using the same test case here, and then I will rename the test case to test case 2. Okay, so let me save this, and we can see here before each and two test cases, test case 1 and test case 2, after each and then after. Okay, if we go to our test runner, we can see that the lifecycle hook cy.js got added now, and if I click on it, see there are two test cases. Both test cases got executed, and if you see for each test, and you see there is one with before all and before each, and then after each, and in the second test case you will see there is no before all, there is only before each and then the test case and then after each, and at the end you will see the after all. Okay, this is after life cycle hook. But if you see the first one, there is no after all life cycle hook. Okay, so the before life cycle hook got executed only once, and before each life cycle hook got executed two times for each test. One time for each test, total two times before each for the test case 1 and before each for the test case 2. Similarly, so after each got executed two times for test case 1 one time and for test case 2 two times, and after all got executed once, which is after test case 2. So in this way we can use the life cycle hooks. So if you wanted to execute anything before each test, we can write that logic in before each, and if you wanted to execute anything after each test case, that we can write in after each. So if you wanted to execute anything that should be executed before any test at one time, then we can use before. In the same way, so we can use after if you wanted to run anything after all test cases got executed. Okay, in this way we can use the lifecycle hooks in Cypress. Thank you.